This is Star 106.5 FM, Nassau, Bahamas.
Oh, to free my mind. Release you. The time is 4 o'clock when the nation stops to free the mind. Free the mind. So now let it show on the waves without my free mind. Search the heaven line, you won't find none free mind. From the ghetto to the oh, let me plug in this fan. Hold on. From the fuse to fatherland, all the freedom of the tightness. To freedom of my mind. Release you. To freedom of my mind. Release you. It's about that time. It's about that time. It's about that time. It's about that time. Star 106 hits. Hello and pleasant Tuesday. Good afternoon to each and all. Welcome to your Tuesday edition of Free Your Mind, brought to you courtesy of Collect as we share the vibe on a Tuesday. Thank you to Solomon. Solomon's is doing it big for you. They got a brand new store. Well, I should say, when I say brand new, totally redone is their Old Trail location. All right. So it's now Solomon's Old Trail. If you haven't had a chance to see it in all its glory, then stop on in. And while you're at any of the AML stores, we want you to give back with this year's snackathon. We want to make sure that every child goes back to school with snacks in hand. All right. So you can donate cash at the register, or you can simply donate your points at the register. All right. Thank you to KFC. It's all about that crunchy value. I got to say thank you to Pinder Tile, City of Hope, formerly Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Good to be in your company as always, especially on a Tropsy Tuesday. You'd be surprised the things that are going around in your town or in a city near you, and with people that you rub shoulders with and people that you know in some instances. But I want you to understand that there's absolutely nothing new under the sun. All right. And the first thing before I get into today's crazy topic, I got to say big shouts out to everybody locked and loaded. We're 106.5 on the FM band. So very happy to have you all there. Channel 976 on cable. And that also means that I got to say big shouts out to the Family Islanders who tune in as well. And of course, the Facebook faithful. It's always good to have y'all show up and show out for every single time. And I don't take that for granted. Thank you so much. All right. So let me just start off hypothetically speaking and, posing a question. And maybe this is something that you've never really thought about, but at the end of the day, it's food for thought. So my question to you is, when in dating, right? when in dating, or even when, and yeah, even when you've already established that you are an item with somebody, how imperative is it for them to call ahead before coming to your crib? And when I say that, some people have a set rule that, you just can't pull up at my house like that. Um, some people have a rule that when you come to my house, and this is a very generalized rule, that you can't blow. Like me, I'm a stickler for that. Don't come to my house and blow. You will remain outside. I will not even acknowledge you. All right. My mom always used to say, you don't live outside. All right. So, some people have these rules, and my own is very much that you can't come to my house and blow. Don't be lazy. Step out your car. Please knock or ring the doorbell. But you don't by no means, all right, show up to my house and don't and blow. Now, if for some reason you have some kind of handicap, and you broke your leg, I didn't know, and you pull up to my house, you call me and you say, hey sis, I can't come out the car, I broke my leg. Cool. But don't show up and blow at my house. It's a no. All right. Some people have a general rule that you can't show up to my house unannounced. And how many of you are like that? Whereas you don't care if it's your ma. And I know somebody who just recently got married, and she called me to say, how do I tell my mother that she can't just show up at my house? And she's like, I know it's my mother. And, I feel some type of way saying it to her because she's my all in all. But now that I'm married, my husband does not take kindly to her showing up because his mother doesn't do it. Right. And she's like, she'll just show up, and because she has, fill in the blank here, a plate of food, she baked bread. She saw something in the pharmacy that I liked as a child, and she, just thought to drop it off. And she had a hard time trying to figure out how she's going to tell her mother that she can't stop by. All right, unannounced that is. And some people are a stickler for that. You just can't show up unannounced, whether it's your parents, whether it's your siblings, because familiarity breeds contempt. All right. It's just a known thing. When you're familiar, you kind of throw all the rules and regulations and prerequisites out of the window. All right. And I use the word window for a reason. All right. So how many of you are, sticklers for people um getting clearance before showing up to your house? Or are you cool or very happy to have visitors at any time where it's not a big deal for you? All right, let's talk about that. Then the next thing, I'm going to take a break in just a second. I also want to find out, do you look at it as funny, as suspicious when somebody implements that kind of rule where it is, listen, I gonna need you to call first. You did this once, I can let it slide, but don't do that again. Does it raise an eyebrow? Does it automatically make them guilty of something just because they stipulate that you must call first? Does it make you feel funny? Does it make you say they got something to hide? And it's the same thing with the phone. If you and your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your boo, whoever, even your parents, right, have a problem with you going in their phone, especially in relationships, when some people try to test, like, let me hold your phone, and it's like, no, give me your password, no. Oh, it means you have something to hide. Does it really mean that? Going to take a quick break on that. All right, as we set the stage, I've got your traffic report coming your way. We're going to find out what's happening on the streets of Nassau. Got our eye in the sky traffic, followed by more Free Your Mind. It's a Trap Seat Tuesday right here on the Star.
And of course, look at traffic disaster. Oh, we've got active streets across the
Why Kevon? Why you can't pull up on you? Yeah, boy, don't pull up on me either. Two things: don't pull up, and don't, Jesus, for God's sake, don't blow. Don't blow. Woo, Lord Jesus. I think the blowing is the worst part for me. I think showing up, taking a chance, depends on how cool he is, right? But the blowing part, at no time. No time. Like I say, even if you can't walk for whatever reason, you better call and let me come outside to you. But don't blow for my attention. Blow. Shoot. Ah, that's true. That's it. That's it. A whole hour? Jesus, you gave him the whole day. Hi, Sean. Sean, where you is? Hello, Sean. Where are you? Star 106 hits. Yeah, free of mind on a Tropsy Tuesday. And today we talk about rules and regulations somewhat when it comes to somebody and their personal space, meaning their home. All right, it's a Tropsy Tuesday, so you know what to expect, right? So when somebody implements a rule that you must first call, especially in the dating game, you must first call rather than just showing up. It's a rule. Does it raise an eyebrow, make you suspicious that something isn't something as to why I can't pull up on you? Or does it mean that one simply requires respect for my space? What does it mean to you? You know, it's the same way if a husband asks a wife, let me see your phone. And she says no, or he says no, if it's vice versa. Does it automatically mean that that person has something to hide? Or does it mean that you somewhat are violating my space? What does it mean to you? I'll wait for the response. Does it mean that something's going on? Does it make you suspicious? Does it make you want to trail them? Does it make you, want to cut them off because, you can't have your way? You can't just show up. You can't pull up at the crib. You can't just be what it is. I was just in the neighborhood. No. What does it mean to you? All right. So we have a situation where a young lady is so called dating in the real sense. I mean, young enough person who decides that she's dating, she's talking to somebody. She invited this person to her house. Um, Nothing going on, watching TV, a good Netflix movie, some hot chai tea, and just chilling. And I think what went wrong is that she did not explain, as far as I'm concerned, she did not explain in its totality that she was dating in the true sense of the word, right? So yes, me and you chilling, we cool. I like you, you like me, you like my cooking, you like watching the same kind of movies I like. We're just, nothing going on. But we're just chilling. But know that today is Tuesday, crazy Tuesday, according to my KFC folk, right? Today is Tuesday, but know for a fact that on Thursday, it may not be you. It may be someone else. It may be me, myself, and I. But know that I am truly dating. And I don't think she really explained to um, her potential that she was truly dating. So fast forward, what happens here? So she's invited this young man over, and like I said, it was just a Netflix night, little dinner, no candlelight, and the door knocks. But what I didn't understand is if you are so steadfast about taking a stance on the true sense of dating and doing it in its realness, I don't understand why she reacted this way. So I'm setting the stage. Let me show you what happened. So the door knocked and she was startled. Okay, because she did not expect anyone to be coming over. So just picture it there on the couch, foot up on the coffee table, popcorn, big bowl of popcorn, I don't know. And they're just literally chilling, all four legs on the ground, um, nothing. But when the door knocked, she was startled. And I guess the young man read it as her being caught, being scared. But that's not what it was. So he ran into her room, which I found strange. Like, dude, you're a man, stand up, right? But he ran into her room, and I guess told her to address the person at the door. So she proceeds to go to the door, and she opens the door and she asks the young man, the second young man, what was he doing there? And then she made this whole spiel about showing up to people's house unannounced. And he's like, well, what do you have to hide? I heard some man's voice. Who is it? Who is it? And she's trying to say, oh, you don't have the right to question me. And he started to raise his voice and get a bit, truly antagonistic. Not violent, but he started to, I guess, in his anger, throw some really threatening words. But the words weren't so much for her. I guess this is where the male ego overtakes, common sense and rational thinking. He started, throwing threats towards the dude, which the dude really don't have nothing to do with it. But nevertheless, he was getting, quite violent, and she's trying to tell him, okay, he's got to leave, and he pushed past her, looking for the guy in the house. Now, let's look at this and examine this for a moment. At this point, who do we blame? Do you think she is wrong for not explaining to him in full that, she is dating other people? It doesn't mean the horizontal okey pokey, but I'm definitely having the company of others other than yourself. She didn't explain that. But again, in the Bahamas, for the most part, we don't practice the true sense of dating. So you can't expect someone to understand that this is what you're doing without a full explanation. So with that said, the guy is now rummaging through this woman's apartment. In the bathroom, there was like a half bathroom at the very entrance of the door, and he kind of manhandled her and pushed her out the way to look into the bathroom that was in close proximity, finding nothing. But of course, when he started, he's looking in the kitchen because he had to go around a little bend, and he's looking and he's looking and he's now proceeding to go into the bedroom. All right, I got to play this song right here. So Deborah Cox, before I go any further, right here on the Star. Ready? Woo! Lord, what a time, what a time. Now, I'm never one to encourage confrontations, right? But as a man, I'm thinking, big man, go to the door and say, Bertrand, what the I dealing with? Right? What the I dealing with? Like all of this ain't necessary, King. It ain't your night or something. But I don't expect, anytime you hear these stories where it look like people get caught, it's usually the woman that run, right? Y'all remember the one with the one who got up to the people's house and almost get thrown down the stairs? You remember that one? You remember when they did pull up on the scene and the wife did see the dude, the wife gone up to the car and homegirl just flee the scene. She came out the car and she walked her happy behind down the road and she walked home, you remember? And then homegirl, the wife gone behind them. And I mean, that was dumb, right? And gone behind them and gone to the people's house. That's when the woman daughters nearly take her out. Boing! Head hit the damn gas tank. Y'all remember that, right? Usually it's the woman who walks away. It's the woman who usually will, take herself out of the situation. Like, I ain't coming for all of this. I ain't trying to get in y'all vibe, and will move. But it's very rare, and y'all could correct me. It's very rare where a man will stand down and leave the scene. Talk to me. Oh boy, I tell you. I asked y'all a question, Here we go. Star 106 hits music in from Deborah Cox. A real question. How did you get here? Like, you ain't supposed to just show up like that. But in any case, when you face something like this, do you deserve it because you didn't follow the rule. We're going to talk more about it in just a sec. Free your mind on a Trap Seat Tuesday right here on the Star. Stay tuned.
Collect light, ice cold and refreshing, share the wide. Collect light by us, drinking that regatta. Best world class like beer in the Bahamas. Cool and refreshing, the taste is amazing. Me and my friends, we be drinking. Collect light, share the wide. At the club or the bar.
A new light beer for all babies.
Looking for quality food at affordable prices? Look no further than Solomons. Our stores offer unbeatable savings on your overall basket without compromising on quality. From quality produce to pantry staples, we have everything you need to create delicious and nutritious meals for less. When it comes to your grocery budget, don't sacrifice quality for value. Come to Solomons and experience the best of both worlds.
Shit, what's up? This is Omi.
You found it. Hey, this is Tori Kelly,
Yo, what up? What up? Whiskey?
your number one source for today's hits and yesterday's favorites. 106 Hits.
Star 106 hits. So welcome back. Free your mind on a Trap Seat Tuesday. Showing up unannounced is the order of the day. And, do you get what you get when you don't follow the rules? So we have a situation where a young lady, as she claims to me, that she's dating in the true sense of the word. And I'm like, hey, you've been away in the US a little bit too long, because dating here in the Bahamas is pretty much non-existent in the true sense of the word. Whereas you are, for the most part, free to speak to as many people as you'd like at one given time. It's not a norm here in the Bahamas for a woman to be considered dating. Once she's engaged one person, it has to be one person at a time. Otherwise, you got to face the consequences. Either you will be classified as a garden tool. It can get very dangerous, because our men just don't comprehend that whole, or they don't embrace that whole concept of you speaking to more than one at any given time. So we have this young lady who is dating, and she, in her way, she's trying to teach the men of the 242 how to date effectively. So she's chilling, watching a Netflix movie with potential, and they're just having dinner and a movie, nothing more, nothing less. And her door knocks. She hears a knock at the door, and she answers the door, only to find it was somebody who she was talking to as well, who decided to just show up. Now, in her disgust, I guess her tone and everything was a bit off, because she's asking him, like, how did you get into my Deborah Cox voice? How did you get here? You ain't supposed to be here. First and foremost, you don't show up at my house unannounced. And she went on with the whole spiel about him just taking liberty with just showing up to her house. Now, remember, this is a Bahamian man who is not taking kindly to her talking through the crack of the door and asking all of these questions as to why it is he thought it was okay to just show up at her house. So he's now really upset, and he pushes past her, because she about yay high, right? And he pushes past her because he did hear the voice of the man that she was entertaining. So here it is now. This young man, which is strange to me, he gets up and he hides. Basically, that's what he did. He found a hiding spot and left her to deal with this man. This man now pushes past her and is now in search of the man in the house. He looks in the first half bathroom at the entrance of the foyer, finds nothing, and she's calling him by name, asking him to leave, and he wouldn't leave. He wouldn't leave. So it turns out that he hears a rummaging in her bedroom, and he goes into the bedroom or trying to get the doors closed. Do you believe? And see, this is the problem. You have to be careful when you're in situations like this, that you're quite clear as to where we stand. What are, we like to ask this question, what are we? You got to be very, very clear as to, what the criteria is when it comes to, dating and dating me. And this is what I'm saying to her. You have to be clear, because now listen to this, y'all. This young man decides to push open the door, and I guess the man on the other side of the door could hear the forced entry, or him trying to, and decides that because there's a balcony in her room, he decides that he is going to jump. Y'all hear what I say? And I'm thinking, rather than stand up to this man to man, let's reason. Like, bruh, we aren't doing anything. We just had drinks and food a couple times, right? We had food a couple times, there's nothing, and reason it out and see if we could come to some kind of understanding, or maybe an agreement for one to back the, I don't know. But I don't think it warranted the man running, first and foremost, and then secondly, hiding. And then thirdly, deciding to jump from a balcony in order to evade this man and any confrontation. So all this time I'm listening to the story, I'm like, okay, that's a bit extreme. Is it that he was afraid that the guy was going to fight him? It was the guy that type of dude? Like, what's really happening here? Is it that he can't be seen or caught because maybe he has something else going on? Maybe he's married. Like, why is it that, he would be jumping like this? Why would you jump off the balcony, dude? So anyway, fast forward, the guy jumps off the balcony and breaks his leg. Okay. Mind you, he was a poor judge of character, or a poor judge of distance, because he's looking at the distance. Granted, it was only from what was described to me as the second floor, but it didn't look as high as it really was. So he jumped, he broke his foot, but he managed to still get away in his car without being caught. I think the other man decided that he was going to go down the stairs or down to the elevator in order to try get a glimpse of who the guy was, or catch the license plate. At this point, everybody trying to be an inspector, right? Now, lucky for the getaway guy, the young man did not see anything at all. By the time he was pressing the elevator, see, that's what happened when you're lazy. You should have taken the stairs. He decided that he was taking the elevator, and he's pushing, and the elevator was taking a long time. So by the time that he did get into the elevator, the guy was gone. All right. And she's really upset now because she, I guess, it was a lot. You're just chilling. This had gone from a perfect chill night to drama. The neighbors are looking out. She's never had any kind of problems in the building, so she's embarrassed at this point. So y'all tell me, here's the punchline. Here is the punchline. And this is why, especially in dating in the Bahamas, you have to be A, careful, B, ask the right questions, and C, be very vigilant. So why is it that the young man who jumped actually broke his leg and went and got help at the hospital? He got to the hospital. He drove himself, only to find out that he did break his leg. So he gets home. He gets home, and of course, he's now trying to figure out how he's going to explain to his family members what had happened to him. All right. So, y'all ready for the punchline? And here's the punchline. Guy number 1 is the son of guy number 2. Hence why the young man decided to jump, because he heard the voice of his son. Remember, his son is out there kicking up as to why it is, you entertaining somebody else. Turns out that they were very much related. Now, the guy jumps simply because, remember now, he is the father, and this father has a wife. Y'all put it together. This is the end of another Tropsy Tuesday here in the 242. You have got to be ever so careful and ask the right questions. It can't just be about the person in front of you. Ask who the people are. Are you married? I've heard people say things like, well, she didn't ask. So a man is going along with the program as a married man until caught and saying, well, you never told me you was married. And the guy says, well, you never asked. So asking 21 questions is still permissible, just as 50 Cent says, right? But you must ask the right questions in order to definitely not be caught in a situation like this. All right, here ends the Tropsy Tuesday. Get ready for it. Top of the hour, we're going to do it with DJ AI. 5 o'clock, your drive at 5 comes your way right here on your hit station. Be careful, all right? Right here on your hit station. We're Star 106 Hit. Stay tuned. Top of the hour is coming your way.
I just come out of a show in Portugal, and I'm gonna tell you something. Them show
Beats, why ain't seeing the comments come true? What did I do? Oh, y'all was, I didn't see all this. It didn't pop up. Oh, don't pull up on me, Empress. I had this friend like that. I had to roll out after I got married. Miss, don't play. Oh, no, mom. It's just a boundary. Hey, Paulette. We're all entitled to our privacy. I don't see their phone. All depends on who she made. I live 30 minutes. I'm not even home. Nope. How did you get her? Because he ain't supposed to be. He wants to fight. That's all. Yeah, she wrong, but they ain't exclude. He can't be mad. Oh, yeah? She wrong. Nobody supposed to be here. But the cement block almost took her on Bahamas gas. Oh, Jesus. Empress, the fact is he could walk through our house means that he believes he has some authority at our house. Exactly. Big W, he broke his arm and leg. Yes. He was thinking I can jump in the closet. Yeah, like do it, go in the closet. But now I understand why he jumped. Like, all right. Empress of the man who ran, he may fair weak. Woo! Ricardo, the things happening in the 242. You hear me? Oh. Ricardo, I didn't see none of these messages. It wasn't showing up. I was wondering what happened to y'all.